live on the air. I'm Richard Saile.
This is wild.
Hello, welcome back to another episode of Loungetime. I'm your host, Rich Saile. Finally, we've got some playoff action to cover today. We had 6 wildcard games. Okay, we move on to the divisional round. Man, we got a lot to cover today because we're getting to that point, guys. It shrinks. We're down to 8. After Sunday, there's 4 left. Okay? After next Sunday, we have a Super Bowl matchup. Okay? It's that quick. I know. I can't believe it's flown by this fast this whole year. All right? But it's been an awesome stretch up to this point. We're still not done yet. Okay? We've got some action to cover into. We've got 6 wildcard games. I've got some stats on my laptop that I might be using for these games because I'm not really going to go all of them here. I'm just setting it up right now as we're talking right now because we've got to get some stuff taken care of. But, like I said, so really this is how the schedule's going to work. So we're going to start with that first. I will be covering the divisional round action and previewing championship week next week. And then my goal is to maybe have a mini Super Bowl preview along with, I'm picking the Hall of Fame class of 24. That way we have an idea of, that way I could see which of the nominees are likely to make it. I usually like to do that every year, give my 5 and my opinions as to why all 5 of the modern era semifinalists should make the Hall of Fame. It's usually tough to pick out of 15, so I got to take some time and think about this through. So we're going to have that possibly the week where we recap the championship action, a mini Super Bowl preview. I'm looking to get a guest on that week. So it might be like one of those things. I'm working out a couple things for how we're going to end the year, obviously. So, without further ado, let's get right into the playoff action, starting with the Browns and the Texans. I watched this game. I watched all the games. No, I'm not lying. I actually did. Including the Peacock game, which we're getting to next. I told you guys this was the toughest game for me to pick on the playoff bracket. It was. Because early in the week, I felt really confident with the Browns. I was like, you know what? I'm going to stick with it. And they have the best defense that I think could give Lamar Jackson problems in the playoffs. But I told you guys last week, the more I watch C.J. Stroud, the more impressed I get. And I just wasn't sure that in his first playoff game how he would do. Number 1 defense. Usually number 1 defense gives rookie quarterbacks issues, especially at the high level. Boy, was I proven wrong. I mean, he threw for almost 300 yards at half. He, just shredded that defense. What a difference he made that wasn't there when these two teams played a few weeks back. Major difference. Major difference. I mean, if you throw for almost 300 yards and a half and what do you throw, 2-3 touchdowns on the day? I mean, come on, man. This guy, listen, I got to confess this, guys, okay? When I heard, who'd you draft number 1, Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud? I thought Bryce Young was going to go number 1 because, the league was trending towards smaller guys and, he had smarts and, he was more athletic than Stroud. And I thought, okay, he's played for Nick Saban. They think he's the most NFL ready as far as, intellectually and stuff like that. But C.J. Stroud, people I think gave him flack for, I think it was the Wonderlic test or something like that, which I thought was ridiculous. I thought that was not right. But people were saying, that was such a big reason for Bryce Young over C.J. Stroud. I didn't think that was one reason. I looked at kind of eye test. I looked at, talent. And I just was like, I've seen Bryce Young do really well, mostly on big stage games. But I forgot the last one C.J. Stroud had because I thought that was a rare occasion because of how bad Georgia's defense was that day. But that got all proven wrong the following week when they smoked TCU in the championship game. But C.J. Stroud did a number on that Georgia defense. And I thought, for one, it was the talent at Ohio State, because Ohio State has a wide receiver factory right now going on, is a path to the NFL. And I thought, okay, it's the talent. It's just they surrounded him really well. I'm thinking, no way. And that's what we thought with guys like Mac Jones. And I thought that way with Tua. The talent made him look good. And boy, have I been proven wrong. What he's been able to do as far as picking up the game this fast in the NFL level, and how his decision-making, he threw, 5 interceptions on the year? I'm looking at it right now. I think he's thrown 5 picks on the year, right? So that's incredible for a rookie. Seriously. And he's thrown, I think, 21, maybe, I think I think he's thrown at least 21, 22, 23 touchdown passes, roughly. I just know it's over 20. That's amazing. I mean, it's a preview of what could be coming in the future. And this playoff game was another symbol of that. I came away, I was like, wow, man, this guy is unbelievable. I mean, seriously. And I'm going to confess this right now. If he beats Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore tomorrow afternoon, it's the best rookie season in the NFL history. Over Big Ben in 04, over, RG3's in 2012, over Dak Prescott's in 2016, okay? It's better than all those if he beats the Ravens. I'm not joking. Because if you beat the number 1 defense, and then you beat another great defense in the AFC North that's top 5, okay? Probably in the top 5 in the league, all right? With all those all-pro players, all those Pro Bowlers, and you beat Lamar Jackson in Lamar Jackson's house, hands down the best rookie season in NFL history, if that happens, okay? I don't think it's going to, because I just think the Texans, they can hang tough. I just don't know if they can stop Lamar for a full 4 quarters, keep him in the pocket all game. I don't know if they have the guys in the secondary to hold up with what Todd Monken's going to do. I think their run defense, they did pretty well against Cleveland. I just don't know if they're going to be able to stop Baltimore and keeping Lamar in the pocket. That's a tall task, because no one's really had much of an answer for that. So I just think, listen, they're playing with house money, man. And when you play loose, when you play with nothing to lose, that's a great feeling. Okay? Just having fun. And what DeMeco Ryans has done, and we said it since the beginning of last season, he deserves a head coaching job. What a job he's done this year. Seriously. I mean, this team, who was projected to be in the bottom cellar in the AFC, okay? Last of first. It happens every year. One division. Who knew it would have been them this year? I mean, what a job DeMeco Ryans has done. They're becoming they're becoming a fun team to watch for me. One of my teams that I'm like, you know what? Let me see how they do. And I want to watch this game tomorrow with the Ravens. And, like I said, this is a game that I really want to see how this goes. I'm excited for this. I really am excited for this game coming up. As far as, talking a little bit about the game, Singletary got in the end zone, right? Collins had a monster, game. Flacco turned back into Fluco, 2 pick sixes that changed the game. You lost by 31, right? Without those 2 pick sixes, we might have a different way this game is talked about, but those 2 pick sixes, that was it. There was a nail in the coffin. I kind of stopped watching after the third quarter, because you could just tell. The Texans, it was going all their way. The Browns' momentum just got sucked out of the stadium, and, but really, what a tremendous job by C.J. Stroud this season, along with DeMeco Ryans, who I hope gets Coach of the Year. I think Kevin Stefanski might have a slight edge because he went through, 4 quarterbacks, and they still ended up being the 5 seed. But DeMeco Ryans equally deserves it, because who would have thought the Texans would have won the division and win a playoff game in his first year there? Who would have thought that at the beginning of the year? If you would have told me that, I would have been like, what? Get out of here. But they did it. This team is becoming a fun team to watch. I mean, this, really, really great job by those 2 specifically. The whole team has really just become better. And what C.J. Stroud's doing, you guys got to remember, Tank Dell was out, okay? They lost Brandon Cooks, who went to Dallas, which we're going to get to the Cowboys, all right? I've got some people I've got to shout out there that, bothered me about the loss, okay? So Brandon Cooks is gone. And he's got Tank Dell, Nico Collins, okay? Dalton Schultz, all right? Robert Woods, I think, was once upon a time a Texan. I don't think he's No, I think he was hurt. I'm actually going to pull up the roster real fast because the guys he's throwing to are not, there's no bona fide number one. It's not like Mahomes who has Travis Kelce, or Josh Allen has with Stephon Diggs, or Lamar Jackson has with Mark Andrews, okay? It's not like that, okay? He's throwing it. Let me pull up these receivers, okay? John Mechie, who I loved in the draft. I wanted my Patriots to draft him, okay? He got a little bit of action, all right? And Noah Brown, I forgot about him, all right? But what these guys have done is just so incredible. I was right. Robert Woods was on the Texans. I had to double check myself on that. But what they've done, man, they're becoming a fun team to watch. I mean, I don't think they'll beat the Ravens, but I'm excited for this game. I want to see those two guys go at it, and I want to see if C.J. Stroud can pull off the best rookie season in NFL history. I'm rooting for him, But again, a lot of people like the Ravens to win the Super Bowl. I don't, but it should be a fun game to watch. I'm excited, but the Texans, they're fun to watch. Cleveland, the defense, did not play well when they needed to, and the run, and Kevin Stefanski, they had an unbelievable season going through 4 quarterbacks, and it's a miracle they made the playoffs and they were this good, but they have a lot of areas still they have to fix in this game, and I know that team will fix it. They're going to be all right, Dolphins-Chiefs. Before we get into the game, I have to point out a couple nuggets here. First, we have a bone to pick here with the NFL and Peacock. This was the most ridiculous, most retarded thing they could have literally done possible. Okay? Now, before you lash out at me, oh, Rich, of course they have a deal because NBC's partnered with Peacock and you knew they were going to go there this route at some point. Okay? So you knew that NBC was going to get some more guarantees in playoff games and stuff. Okay, hold on. Before you lash out at me, let me finish my point. Let me ask you guys as my audience. You can even pause the video after I'm done asking this question. Let me know if you agree with this. If any other streaming service, big, that most people love and watch, okay, got this playoff game, would it have the ratings that Peacock had, or would it have had more, and would you have had the same people that complain about Peacock being exclusively held to a playoff game, would those people bitch and complain about a playoff game being exclusively made to a streaming service? I'll give you examples. Would people bitch about it if Netflix carried the game? If Hulu carried the game? If Paramount Plus got the game? If they only had exclusively that game, if one of those streaming services had it, or a popular streaming service outside of Peacock held a playoff game, would those same people complain about that, and would the ratings have been higher? Yes or no? Because I think it would have if it was on a Hulu, if it was on a Netflix, if it was on a Paramount Plus, okay? If it was on one of those popular streaming services, I guarantee you, nobody's bitching and complaining about this. Guarantee it. If you don't, I'd be shocked, okay? You have to be like old school with rabbit ears TV and all that stuff to totally be pissed about it. And I know people that were upset about this on Peacock. Trust me, okay? But I'm saying to you this. I agree that Peacock should not have had that game. I think it should have gone to a more popular streaming service that at least more people would like. I don't think you would have the same amount of complaints as that, because if a lot of people watch these days Netflix and Hulu and Paramount Plus, and there's probably more. Heck, if Prime Video got it, I wouldn't have bitched about it because we've had Thursday night games all year. I guarantee you don't have people complain about that, okay? But because nobody, and be real with me, guys, who fucking watches Peacock now? Seriously, like what do they have? Oh, Premier League? That's it! What do they got? Tell me. I don't know what they got. I look and I'm like, what do I like on there? You know what I mean? All those other streaming services, they got shit on there. Okay? That's what they've got. That's why you're going to guarantee to pull an audience to go watch their stuff. And if you've got NFL fans that have shows they like on Netflix or movies they like on Netflix, shit, your revenue goes through the window. And you get more people to pay viewership for that. Okay, I do think it's ridiculous that it's one game you're paying for this stuff. But I'm saying if you had a popular streaming service that people like and watch, nobody's bitching and complaining about this. Guarantee that. But because it's Peacock, and I agree, I don't watch freaking anything on Peacock either. That was the first time I freaking watched it, whatever. I didn't subscribe, all right, which is my next caveat, but we're going to get there, okay? But my point is, the NFL should have been smarter with this. Not Peacock. Oh, because you have a broadcasting partner deal with NBC. I get that, but not a playoff game. Playoff games were always on regular TV growing up, and they should have stayed that way. And if you're going to go to a streaming service, go to one that people actually watch. Not everybody watches Peacock. Get it through. Nothing's good on there. Seriously, nothing's good on Peacock. Which brings me to point number 2. And I got to say this. This one I'm not going to rant. I actually got to shout out somebody here. Okay? And I'm serious when I say this too. I was talking to one of my family members that, obviously is a fan of this next game we're covering right now. Really a Saints fan. Hint, hint. She's really a Saints fan. But she asked me how I was going to watch the game. I was like, I'll figure out a way to watch it. But she ended up being very nice enough to let me watch the game on her Peacock account. Thank you very much, by the way, Aunt Fran. Shout out to Aunt Fran. Because, I mean, personally, I wasn't going to pay freaking, what is it, $7 a month for me to, do one game. No thanks. I'm good, bro. No, I'm good. There's other ways. I won't say which ways, but there's other ways to watch that game. And the real smart people know exactly. I almost did that, but she came in real clutch to allow me to, watch the game on her account. Thank you so much, Aunt Fran. Shout out to you. She's been a big fan of the show since I had the idea coming up with years ago. And I don't know if she's watched a little this season, but if she has, I want to thank you, Aunt Fran, for allowing me to watch the game on Peacock accounts. So thanks, Aunt Fran. Yeah, shout out to you. Which brings me to the Dolphins-Chiefs game. This was literally the most shittiest, boringest, most obvious guarantee of the fucking week. I told everybody when this matchup was set, the Chiefs are going to win. Guarantee it was a lock. I literally had said it's a lock. Okay? Miami sucks in the cold weather. Okay? The only reason I thought it was low scoring was because I thought the field would be much more tough for teams to move the ball on. I overestimated that. Okay? And it ended up being 26-7. I had said 14-10 last week. I don't know why. I just thought Fangio would maybe have a game plan. But I should have known with Chubb and Phillips out and the depleted secondary, they weren't going to do well. Okay? But they ended up having a great game. And everybody's all of a sudden saying, the national media is going, oh, is the Chiefs offense back? We're going to get to that. But I gotta roast the Dolphins right now because they were pathetic. They were trash. What did hold on. What's my biggest theme with Tua Tagovailoa? I freaking posted a tweet on X about this 2 weeks ago when they lost to Buffalo. What have I been saying about Tua Tagovailoa all season long? He can't beat the elite teams. It's who he is. What more do we need to see? It's who he is. And everybody's like, Rich, he's in 4 years in the league. Is that enough time for you to know if you're the guy or not? I think it's up there. It's 1 more year away from you have to make that decision of paying a big franchise quarterback money, which I hope the Dolphins do. You know why? Because I'm not scared of Tua in my division. Okay? I'm not scared of him. I'm more scared of Josh Allen, who might actually beat the Chiefs this weekend. Okay? He dismantled my team in a playoff game 2 years ago. Yeah. I'm more scared of him than Tua. Because Mike McDaniel, I had a conversation with, my dad, off camera, and he thinks Mike McDaniel's a little bit like Brandon Staley as far as going for it and the analytics and shit, but that's a different conversation for another day because I think analytics has killed the game. But that's his opinion on Mike McDaniel. I think at times he tries to show off a little. I don't know if he does it for the cameras and shit, the interviews, Yeah, I saw the one where he ran, to the locker room at halftime. Are you kidding me? Really? Are you that paranoid to get away from a sideline reporter? You can't take fucking 30 seconds of your time? Yeah, that's an old one. But this dude, and I just want to say this. Is it me, or does Mike McDaniel's face, every time they show his face, he looks like he wants to shit his pants? Literally, on the sidelines. He's like this. He's got like that weird face. I swear he has that face where he looks like he's going to shit his pants. Okay? But I'm dead serious, bro. But this is who Tua is. They cannot beat elite teams. I'm not surprised at this at all, bro. They were uncompetitive. I literally wanted to turn the game off with 11 minutes to go, and I should have. This was the most shittiest, most boring, guarantee easiest outcome to pick up the entire weekend. They were pathetic. Which brings me to the fucking Chiefs. The national media has the unmitigated gall to say, oh, the Chiefs offense back. You beat a depleted Dolphins team without their two best pass rushers, and we're going to say, oh, they're back? They had home field. No, of course they're not back. No, they're not. You were supposed to beat this team. This team had their two best pass rushers out. You should beat them at home. They can't even beat an elite team. No, they're not back. No. I told you guys from Jump Street they were going to win a playoff game at home. Bro. And listen. The Bills, you see who's out tomorrow, Sunday? I've seen the injury report. You should go off against that defense. You should. You really should. Taylor Rapp's out. Benford, I think, is out. The corner. The linebacker, Spencer's out. You should go off. You freaking put 17 on them last time, which we're going to get to in the preview because we're going to talk about something about that game last time those two teams met. Oh, we didn't forget on this show. No, we didn't forget. But the media wants you to fucking get your hopes up. See, I have good two pairs of eyes here, okay? You can't fool me that those fucking people, whether it's at ESPN or the fucking apologists who follow Nick Wright on Fox Sports, one with the first things first. I know you fucking people are getting your hopes up. Even those people on X who I fucking have to keep seeing in my fucking home screen, saying, oh, can't wait for the Chiefs to fucking, win their first road playoff game when nobody thinks we can win a road game. Get the fuck out of here. Are you kidding me? No one's saying that, bro. See, this is the reason. And I retweeted some people saying how Mahomes has become so unlikable. I'm going to save that for the fucking preview of the Chiefs-Bills. Y'all know what I mean if you actually watch the game. And between that and the fucking Taylor Swift coverage with Mahomes' wife, it's so annoying. It's so unlikable. It's like, bro, you literally can see right through Tirico, right through them, that NBC is literally the National Mahomes Network. I told you guys in the beginning of the year, we're literally living in the National Mahomes League, and it's coming back, and it's not a good feeling. I'm fucking sick of it, bro. I'm fucking sick of it. But we're going to save it for the Chiefs-Bills preview because I have a little fucking... I'm going to be cursing a lot. Let's get to that way. All right? This next game. Oh my God. Okay. I can't wait for this. I went to my friend's house to watch this game, and boy, was I shocked. Packers-Cowboys. Now, first, before we get into the game, I have family that watches this game as Cowboy fans. And when I'm going to make this commentary, I'm going to enjoy this nice piece of coconut cake with strawberry on it, okay? Because I want to enjoy this. A little cream, don't worry. I have some things that I want to air my grievances out on, in particular, first with my cousin Nikki. Because last week, when we hired Gerard Mayo to be our next head coach, and he and I, obviously, we talk football about our teams and stuff, okay? You know what he says to me? Good luck dealing with a coach with zero experience replacing the greatest coach of all time. I was like, damn, cousin. Why you gotta be so harsh like that? That's not necessary. Really? I mean, I know, listen, I've said it for 2 years on this show. Really 3 if you've been following me since the first year. I wanted Bill out because he wasn't making the team better. Guys, we knew this day was coming. But what I didn't see coming was how bad the Cowboys got beat, which we're going to get to in a second. So, after they lost, I'm thinking to myself, you know the saying, what comes around, goes around, and karma bites you back. Karma's a bitch. Serves you right for giving me all that trash talk about my team hiring a new coach, huh? Not cool, huh? Oh, guess what they also did? They immediately went to the narrative. Oh, Bill Belichick's coming to the Cowboys. The Cowboy fans immediately did that. They didn't even care they lost. They didn't even care they lost. They immediately jumped onto the freaking, oh, we're going to go get Bill Belichick. They all lined up. Okay, they literally all lined up to the door that it's going to be that way. They didn't want to go out the freaking real door that they should have. That they got embarrassed and absolutely dismantled by Green Bay, which we're going to get to in the game in a moment. Okay? But they all went to that thing. And then they come to find out, guess what happens? I think it was Wednesday night. They find out Jerry's keeping Mike McCarthy. You really thought Jerry was going to give football team control to Bill Belichick and stay out of it? You actually thought that was going to happen? You actually thought that was going to happen? Bro, they're literally polar opposites. Jerry fucking loves to talk and, blurt anything out. Bill doesn't want to talk shit. You really think the opposites were going to interact, bro? This ain't science, okay? This ain't atoms and chemistry. This is not even close to that. This is the NFL. You actually thought you were going to get Bill Belichick right after, and they thought Jerry was going to fire McCarthy, and I even saw freaking Jerry Jones look like he was going to cry after his post-game press conference. You really thought you were getting Bill? You really thought you were getting Bill? You weren't. Because Jerry won't give up full control of the team. I told you he hasn't learned his lessons. He let go of Jimmy. Okay, nobody held this. Barry Switzer damn sure didn't hold the standard that Jimmy Johnson had. Dave Campo and Chan Gailey and Bill Parcells. Bill Parcells was good for a while. Jerry didn't like him though. That was the closest thing you had. And Bill Parcells got old and he stepped down. He's like, Jerry got in the way and got Terrell Owens and he's like, I'm out. Okay. Wade Phillips. Oh, Coach Clapp, my favorite. Jason Garrett. Always they would show after a field goal or something. He's clapping on sidelines. Great job, great job. I loved that. It was so funny. I made fun of him as a meme. And Mike McCarthy, who now everybody's pointing to as the scapegoat. And, I think he deserves blame. I'm not going to say that, honestly. But you really thought Jerry Jones was going to fire Mike McCarthy and give up full football control of the team to Bill Belichick. That is the clownish thing. I was like, he's not going to fire him. I was like, he's not going to fire him. Watch. And, I have conversations with family that are like, we're going to go get Sean Payton, Rich. Okay? No, you're not going to because guess what? Jerry's not giving football control to a coach. That's not who he is. But guess what you guys are, though? You're the Las Vegas Raiders of the NFC. You're addicted to star power, but allergic to building a team culture and a standard that you once had with Jimmy Johnson, but Jerry said, throw that out the way. Let's go market the Cowboys. Let's go with star power. Let's bring him in that way. How many championship games have you gone since? Tell me that. Tell me how many championship games you've been in. Because that is not working, Jerry. It's not working, Jerry. You need to swallow pride and get a coach that you can hand football operations and decisions to and stay out of the way. He's not going to, though, Cowboy fans. You have to suck up to this now. Okay? They always say, if you have a bad owner in the NFL, you're done. You're done. The Cowboy fans might have one that will not give up football control to a coach that should get it. So you guys will be out of the running for all the coaches that you should give all control of football operations to going forward. It's going to happen. Which brings me to the next person who called me. They called me 11:30 at night. My Uncle Al, who also watches this show too. He literally calls me ranting that the Cowboys got out in the first round. And he calls me with the same similar thing. Oh, McCarthy should be done. I'm tired of fucking being out of the first round. I was literally having to deal with this at 11:30 at night. I was about to fall asleep. And he calls me literally cursing. Oh, I'm tired of being out of the fucking first round. We have a fucking great talented team. Literally dropping F-bombs on me, okay? I'm on speaker, okay? You see where that table is? That's where I was just sitting in one of those chairs, and I was talking to him, okay? Yeah, he was going off, okay? Because that loss hurt so bad. And again, this is up there among the most embarrassing Cowboy defeats. My dad was talking about the one with Jake Plummer in 98, okay? In 98, like 2 months after I was born, bro. I mean, damn. But, like I said, yeah, like all these Cowboy fans were immediately lining up to the Bill Belichick hiring, and then like McCarthy, staying. And now they're already preparing for an early playoff exit next year. So they know what's going to happen before the season starts. Guys, you're not getting a football coach who's going to get full control of football operations from ownership because Jerry's not giving up. Jerry can't help himself, guys. He wants the credit for building a Super Bowl winning team. that Jimmy Johnson got in the 90s. He never got it in the 90s. And he will never get the credit unless he sucks up some pride and gives it football operations total control to a coach who rightfully deserves it. He's never done that. He's too obsessed with the brand and the marketing of the Cowboys instead of building a team culture and actually learning how to win football games. You have talent every year because he's addicted to star power, but he's allergic to how to actually build a team culture and a process and how to win. That's why all those other teams have Super Bowls and you don't. That's why they have championship game appearances and you don't. It's the facts. Get used to it because that's unfortunately what Jerry Jones is. And it's going to be that way till the day he dies. And then Stephen Jones, you have to pray he doesn't, follow Jerry's footsteps. You guys are in trouble. Seriously, you guys are in trouble. Let's get to the game. Jordan Love played really well. I have to give him that. All right? He played really well. Aaron Jones, every time I watch him, he owns the Cowboys. Does somebody know something that I don't as far as to why this always happens? The Cowboys' run defense, they got shredded. And I could tell early on in the game that they looked like they took them lightly. I think they disrespected them going in. They could, we're going to blow right past you guys. We're going to blow you out the doors. We're home. We never lost a home game in, 2 years? We got this in the bag. Oh, in the playoffs, that's a dangerous line to go. Because if you do that in the playoffs and the wrong team sneaks up on you, you're dead meat. Dead meat. And the Packers, were like, okay, they don't think we're good. Let's just do what we do. Okay? And, Jones ran the ball 21 times, 3 touchdowns, over 100 yards. Jordan Love threw the ball, 3 touchdowns. Some of the throws he was making, like the one in the end zone, I believe it was I think it was Dobbs. Let me get that one. I think the last touchdown was to Dobbs. Where's one and he slings it this way. I was like Favre, Aaron Rodgers, man, young days. I'm like, oh my God. And, hey, Hall of Fame quarterbacks have sitting behind legends before. Steve Young with Joe Montana and, Rodgers with Brett Favre, man, and they did the same thing with Jordan Love and Aaron Rodgers. I'm not saying Jordan Love's going to be a Hall of Fame quarterback, but sometimes learning for a couple years is not the worst thing in the world. It might actually be great for a quarterback's development, man. I'm just saying. I mean, Mahomes sat behind 1 year with Alex Smith. Brady, sat behind the bench a year before he took over for Bledsoe. I mean, it happens, guys. Dobbs had, 6 for 151. I'm looking at the stat sheet here. I mean, they protected Jordan Love well. Musgrave was wide open. I mean, Wicks caught an early touchdown in the game. I mean, this team absolutely dismantled the Cowboys on both sides, on all 3 phases. They absolutely dismantled them. They had a pick 6 by let me get his name. I don't think Alexander. He had the early Darnell Savage did the pick 6. Okay? This team is a nice young team. Oh, I have a friend that's a Packers fan that's probably watching. You want to fire Joe Barry now? Fuck out of here, bro. Are you kidding me? Oh, what, you're gonna want to fire him after the division round when you get blown up by the Niners this weekend? Not happening. Not happening. They exceeded expectations. Nobody thought this team would be good. I didn't think they'd be that good. And guess what? Jordan Love and Aaron Jones, that was the show. And they went into Dallas and became the first 7th seed to upset a 2 seed in the history of the NFL playoffs. Got to give credit where credit's due, man. I mean, they went on the road, beat a good team, and they're going on the road to play the best team in the NFC right now. But you're not winning that game. That's a guarantee. You're not winning that game. The 49ers are not the Cowboys. Which brings me to the Dallas Cowboys. Dak Prescott did not play well. And everybody's like, don't put it all on Dak. Whoa. Don't tell me he doesn't deserve blame now. His stats, do not be fooled. They were mostly empty calorie, garbage, catch-up stats. Okay? That's what they were. Okay? Not good. Okay? He didn't really play that well. 3 touchdowns, garbage time. Okay? Game was out of reach. Okay? The running game did not get going at all. They did not get going. Okay? Don't let it fool you. They didn't really have much of a running game. Okay? CeeDee Lamb, they go off after the one early play where, He basically just, I don't know if he emotionally checked out or not early in the game. I remember McCarthy said something to him, and I don't know, he just didn't look happy about it. Gallup apparently had 6 for 103. That was the quietest 6 catches for 103 yards I've ever seen. Jake Ferguson, who was on my fantasy team this year, 10 catches for 93 yards, 3 touchdowns. He was the only one that got in the end zone as far as receivers went. I mean, Brandon Cooks, 6 for 47, you know. But, yeah, CeeDee Lamb, obviously, they just couldn't get in the end zone. And that defense, oh, man. You're not off the hook for this. Oh, no. 1 sack on Jordan Love. No, 0 sacks on Jordan Love. 3 quarterback hits. And you give up 48 points with guys wide open. You couldn't stop the run. Wide open receivers were in the middle of the zone defense. Dan Quinn, who's a hot head coaching candidate right now, he deserves a lot of blame for this, okay? This was a unit that was top 5 to top 10 in the league. What happened? Why were guys left wide open? Why couldn't you stop the run? That's very concerning, okay? The defense deserves the majority of the blame. They really do. But Dak Prescott's not exempt from any blame whatsoever, okay? They want to point the blame at Dan Quinn and Mike McCarthy. No, Dak Prescott deserves the blame too. The guys before him took equal amount of blame wearing that star on their helmet. Tony Romo before him, okay? Roger Staubach back in the day, Danny White and Troy Aikman, they had that same standard, okay? And they all took heat when they lost, okay? That's what comes with wearing the star on your helmet and being the quarterback of America's team. Well, guess what? You're not going to get exempt from blame in a loss. And this loss particularly, you threw a pick 6 and you threw an early pick in the game that gave them a touchdown. You're not off the hook here. Because that's basically what decided the game. So, and now, get this. Those same people I mentioned earlier that were talking about me, early in the game, they want to move on from Dak already. Who are you going to get that's actually really good, that's better than Dak right now? Who are you going to get? Russell Wilson? I don't think he's better than Dak right now. Kirk Cousins? Kirk Cousins. Hell no. So that means you're down to rolling the dice in the draft again. You want to do that? I don't know about that. I don't like it. I don't like it. So, like I said, I don't like it at all. So, Cowboy fans, guess what? This was a shameful, disappointing season. But guess what? You're gonna have to live to a standard where Jerry Jones will never give up total control of a football team to a coach that deserves it. Like Sean Payton, Sean Payton, Bill Belichick, guys like that, they're never gonna come to your team because Jerry Jones is too focused on the marketing, the image of the Cowboys, the brand of the Cowboys. He doesn't care. He cares about winning, but it's got to be Jerry's way. Not the way Jimmy Johnson had a standard where everybody had and there was a way that he built a culture there. You're never going to do that. You're allergic to team building and culture. You're the Raiders. You're attracted to star power, but allergic to learning how to win and building a culture, a foundation, a standard. You're allergic to that. That's what you guys are under Jerry Jones. Which brings me to the Rams and Lions game, okay? This actually ended up being a really good game. I was also at my friend's house watching this, okay? Matthew Stafford played pretty well, I'd say, okay? And Nakua, he had a monster game. Kyron Williams, ran the ball pretty well, right? Jared Goff, the Lions' offense was cooking in the first half, man. I mean, 3 touchdown drives. Laporta had 1. I think Gibbs had 1. I forgot who the other scorer was. I don't think it was St. Brown. Let me pull it up, actually, right now. But the Lions really, they were clicking first half, and then, Raheem Morris did a good job slowing them down. They just couldn't get the big drives when they needed to. All right, Laporta. Oh, he only had 1 touchdown. Oh, Montgomery had the other one. Right, they ran it in. I forgot they ran with him in the third one because Gibbs, I think, had the second one. But those little drives, I think the one where McVay had punted, that's gonna hurt. Because you ended up down 1. You need that conversion in the game. You're down 1. I know you got to play smart. You had timeouts. I didn't agree. I had no issue with that at the time. But with the season on the line, you got to start thinking in situations, are we going to be able to get the ball back on this team? I know it was a real long field goal range. The kicking was out of the equation. But you gotta have that money play that you can trust on to keep the drive alive, and but the Lions defense, in the second half, they did a really good job on them. They held them to 3 points in the entire second half. No, 6 points. 2 field goals. They got hits on Stafford, right? They got 2 sacks on him, right? They got, I think Brock Wright, did they get a fumble? I don't remember them turning it over, really. No, I don't think they did. So, like I said, I just think that, really in this game, the Rams played well. Sean McVay even said his team played well. They figured it out. They lit the fire for him, which was a good sign. The Rams were good. Just the Lions were better on that day. And the Lions are, I got to say this. I'm really happy for them, right? They haven't won a playoff game since 91. 91 season. 92, really. So, we're in 24. That's 32 years without a playoff win. 32 years, almost a third of your life. That's insane. Aiden Hutchinson showed up, 2 sacks. I mean, the Lions did a really great job they did a really good job in this game. The defense stepped up, held the Rams to 6 points, right? In the second half, Aaron Glenn made some key adjustments, okay? And the Lions offense, they showed they can run the football, they can throw the ball. Dan Campbell, the only question mark I've got is, can he handle pressure in a playoff game as far as, managing tough situations? That's all I'm worried about now, okay? The defense actually is my top concern, and then Campbell as far as, late game adjustments and coaching and stuff. But I think the Lions this season, I think they're going to beat Tampa next week, Sunday, but this team is poised to go into the NFC Championship. I really like the way they're playing. I mean, this was another tough game for me to pick. I just really like the Rams because I have to have the balls on the show to take a couple upsets. I mean, I can't take all favorites. You guys say to me, oh, Rich, you take no upsets. Well, I wanted to take a couple upsets. We're going to get to the other one I took after this. But, like I said, the Lions played really well. They're poised for a deep, magical playoff run that, they're going to hopefully get to the NFC Championship game when they beat Tampa Bay Sunday. And, this team is fun. Another team that, is fun to watch, and I'm glad they're doing well. And the Rams, hey, they just got beat by a better team. And, hey, the Rams played good. It's just the Lions were just a little better. And there's games like that in this league where you can play as perfect as you want, but that other team just plays a little better than you, and you're like, damn. That's why it comes down to little situations, little plays, little details in the game that nobody wants to talk about until, those that actually watch the game and understand it. All right, let's go to the Steelers-Bills game. I'm going to try to munch on my cake while I munch on this as we talk about it, right? I watched this game. This ended up being a much closer game than I thought. I knew the Bills would win, but Buffalo went up, 21-0? Pittsburgh scored, I think they made it 24-17 at one point before Shakir's touchdown basically slammed the door shut on a comeback. This ended up being a good game, Mason Rudolph, he played all right. I wouldn't say amazing, but played all right. But again, Freiermuth, had some big plays. Deontay caught a touchdown. I didn't think they played that bad for a 7 seed against Buffalo, who I thought was going to blow the doors off them going into this game. They hung in tough. And, I think that they're going to be all right. Last couple years in the playoffs, they've ran into some gauntlet teams in the AFC. Really the last 2 times they've went, Kansas City and Buffalo, they're just better teams. And I think the Steelers are a couple pieces away from being in that conversation. They just have to put it together. And they got a young team. TJ Watt, if they can get him healthy. Minka Fitzpatrick, if they can keep him healthy. He'll be okay. They still got Mike Tomlin, who still has no losing season. Which brings me to the Bills. James Cook ran the ball well. Josh Allen took care of the ball. Okay? And, it wasn't like the old Bills where, they can run up and down, the field up on you. It wasn't okay going with with Jim Kelly, Thurman Thomas, Andre Reed, James Lofton. Wasn't that. But they played smart football. They're balanced now. And I said, it's the one team that I think can go into Baltimore and beat the Ravens. And I think they will. Okay? Which means you already know who I'm picking for, Sunday's game. But the Bills showed me, they're a good team. They know how to run the ball. If they can keep Josh Allen from turning the ball over, they can beat anybody. They're that capable. They just can't let these teams that, are not on their superior level or not on their level hang around. That's a problem with them a little bit. They underestimate their opponent a little too much sometimes and let them hang around. And they always need that one little late score in the end to just kind of put them away. You can't do that with a team like Kansas City coming up. You just can't. Eagles-Bucs. Did I call this upset? I think I did. A.J. Brown being out showed why the Eagles couldn't really do well. The tush push got stopped. The brotherly shove got stopped. Take notes, NFL teams. Or do you guys not watch film no more? I'm confused. But take notes if you actually watch film. Baker Mayfield absolutely lit this team up. He played really well. Rashad White ran the ball pretty well. But the Eagles, boy, did they fall off a cliff, man. I mean, guys, we were talking about them 10-1, possibly being a Super Bowl team at one point. But then I kind of saw when they lost to the Niners and Dallas, and I really knew once they lost to Arizona and the Giants, I'm like, they're done. You could see it. They struggled with the Giants the first time around on Christmas Day. This was a team clearly that had problems. I don't know if it was just on the field problems. I don't know if it was just the coordinator issues. They have serious problems right now, man. And I think that legitimately, this team has more internal problems. A.J. Brown deletes all Eagles content on his X account and apparently he's out. Is there something that we don't know? I mean, I told you guys early in the year, A.J. Brown got into it with Jalen Hurts week 2 and Sirianni's trying to calm him down. And now there's talk with the Eagles are they going to get rid of Sirianni? Has anybody heard anything? Because I haven't heard shit, okay? But, again, this team they just could not put it together. That defense was bad. Their back end was horrible. Their secondary was awful. Even with Kevin Byard, who I thought was a good pickup for them, they were bad. Their front four, they couldn't really get the same pressure anymore. Their offensive line, I don't know what happened to them. They got Jason Kelsey supposedly might retire now. And their offense just got figured out. So, this team, they really felt the hangover effect. I did not like the move of Sean Desai getting demoted for Matt Patricia. Matt Patricia sucks. I don't know when people are going to realize he's a fucking shit coach. He is a shit coach. Okay? Belichick carried him on defense those years when he was there. Okay? That dude fucking sucks. And then when he went to Detroit, we all know what happened. We went to be back as our offensive coordinator. He was trash once again. And he went to Philly, and I said, good luck with him. Good riddance. He's your problem now. You see what I mean? He's just not a good football coach. He fucking sucks. Okay? Tampa let him up like I knew they would. All right? And, yeah, missed tackles, You could tell this team was out of it. The life was sucked out of this team before they got off the bus. They were bad. They were like the Cowboys. They just did not show up. They did not show up, okay? And it's simple. So, that's that. All right, let's get to let's get to the divisional playoff round picks. I'm going with the Ravens to beat the Texans. I think the Texans, they've had a great story. They've been fun to watch all year. But I just don't see a scenario where the Texans go into Baltimore and beat them and stopping Lamar Jackson. He's just been tough to stop all season. I just don't see a scenario. I mean, Stroud, another time playing the Ravens. I think he'll be much better this time around. But ultimately, I just don't think the Texans have enough scoring power, enough defensive mind as far as like slowing down Lamar Jackson. I shouldn't say defensive mind, I should say defensive game plan to stop Lamar Jackson. I just don't know how to do it. I think D'Amico's going to do a great job trying to keep him in the pocket. I just think Lamar Jackson's too much for that team. But they've been a hell of a story. I'm going with the Ravens to beat the Texans because my AFC Championship pick is still alive. I'm sticking with it. Okay? That's that. Okay? So, the defense, they're going to need to make plays. Marlon Humphrey's out this game. And I think they'll do enough to stop the Texans' offense. They've got some Pro Bowlers. They got all-pro caliber players. They'll be fine. But I trust the Ravens and John Harbaugh and company to host their first AFC Championship in Baltimore. So I'm going to trust that. Packers 49ers. I don't think the Packers have a chance this game. I literally don't. And all the Packers fans I'm seeing on X say, oh, look at them, see? I love that they're not giving us a chance. Look at them all take the 49ers. This is great, guys. Okay. You're going to remind me just like the Giant bandwagons what happens when you play in Eagles. You're going to get waxed, okay? The 49ers are not the Cowboys. They're not going to take you guys lightly. Shanahan is a very great football coach right now. Okay, trust me. You give that man 2 weeks to prepare, watch what he's going to do. All right? He's going to have a game plan. He's going to look at that run defense and go, oh, man. Christian McCaffrey, we're going to give you the ball maybe 20 times this game. All right? Because they can't stop the run. Okay? That's what he's going to do. And then he's going to do his little play action with Kittle and Debo and Ayuk. And you know, the Niners, they apparently have something that they like to stop Jordan Love. They have an idea what to do. And I really like this team to win it all. I think they prove to everybody they're going to knock down that door. They haven't been able to do it. And it starts by them absolutely dismantling the Green Bay Packers at home. And I think that Brock Purdy has a really nice game against them. Niners absolutely blow the doors off the Packers and prove why they are the Super Bowl favorite over the Baltimore Ravens. Bucs-Lions. I'm going with the Lions. I really like the way this team's playing. I think that the Lions are really on something magical right now. And I think they can run the football, but they have the passing game to beat through the blitz with Laporta, St. Brown, all those guys. And I think that they're going to be okay. They have answers for everything that I think Todd Bowles wants to do as far as blitz. I think Baker Mayfield, he had one good game, right? He might play well against the Lions, but I don't think that the Bucs can make enough plays and enough key plays in the game to beat the Lions. So I'm going with the Lions to beat Tampa. I know I forgot score predictions, guys. I'll do it actually at the end, which brings me to this game, Chiefs-Bills. I'm taking the Bills. I told you, bandwagon, since last week, even before that, you are not beating the Bills. Not this time. You know what this reminds me of? Remember when Manning could not beat the Patriots in the playoffs in New England? And then he won a couple games in Gillette? And everybody's like, oh, it doesn't matter because you got to win the playoffs? This is what Josh Allen's going through right now. Okay? They finally have a home game against Kansas City. And Nick Wright, I see him talking all this fucking shit. And these cheap bandwagons are like, Josh Allen's not going to be able to beat him. Okay, he turns the ball over. Bro, Gabe Davis is out there. Oh, man, all these guys are out defensively. They're not going to beat him. Oh, so you think you've already won the game before it starts. Oh, really? Did we forget what you guys were before you beat Miami? Oh, no, we didn't, Chief Bandwagons. I didn't forget. Your receiving core is still mid. Last I checked, they handled Travis Kelce pretty well. Rashee Rice is a problem. Okay. He's the one guy I would worry about. Everybody else, I'm not worried about. So, like I said, I think that the Bills are going to have their way. I think Josh Allen is waiting for this moment since the day they lost that great game, in the divisional round 2 years ago, and now they got them right where they want, divisional round with an AFC championship on the line, and Buffalo beats them because I'm tired of these cheap fucking bandwagons. Okay, saying, they say we can't do it, and they're not giving us a chance. Mahomes is gonna win his first role playoff game. We love to win the world without you. Oh, shut the fuck up, you bandwagons, because guess what? You already are unlikable because guess what? You see your quarterback bitching to the refs? Y'all know why. Because they didn't get the call last time they played Buffalo. Remember his little tantrum? Remember my little Jesse Waters clip that we had? Oh, I still watch that still to this day because it's so entertaining. Okay? I remember because I was the one that put it there to prove that the day he doesn't get a call, he's going to start bitching and complaining and whining to the refs like a little bitch. And he did it against Miami. You see that? Those people that watch, I did. Okay, then you got freaking Taylor Swift and Brittany Mahomes and the Kelseys going, like this. They got the whole fucking top section of the stadium. Bro, who the fuck cares? The media, the NBC wants to show Taylor Swift. CBS is going to want to show. Romo's going to be like, can we show, let's see how Taylor Swift is, how happy. Between Tony Romo and Nick Wright and the fucking Taylor Swift coverage showing Mahomes' wife and the fucking national media who secretly are Chiefs fans. Don't kid yourself. They are secretly Chiefs fans. If you have a fucking brain and two pair of eyes like I do and you know this shit from the back end, you know everybody with people at ESPN are Chiefs fans. I'm telling you, you cannot fool a smart man like myself to not know this. I know this. I wouldn't be telling you if I didn't know this. I do know this. I can see it. You see Romo commenting Chiefs games this year? You ever see that? Oh, I put out tweets on that, by the way. Okay? I do. It's not rocket science. It's common sense. The national media wants this damn team to win. Which, the Bills, I would take that personally. Because they don't want you to win. On your home field. They want the suffering to continue of you guys not making an AFC championship game. Not making a Super Bowl in Buffalo. Yeah. You should take that personally. Because the national media wants the Chiefs to win. They don't want you to win. Okay? I take that personally. And guess what, Chief bandwagons? I'm telling you right now. Next week, if you lose, I'm having one episode on Monday. Okay? I'm having an episode Monday. I'm going to have a fucking celebration that's going to piss you the hell off. I've got the props ready. Okay? I know you're losing. I'm so confident. The only thing I got to worry about is when I get excited when you guys lose. I got to make sure that people don't flip the hell out on me because I'm going to be on the road, later this week. But it don't matter. We still grind. We still get it done. You bandwagons are done. The Nick Wrights, okay? Fuck you, okay? Yeah, him and the fucking Chris Collinsworths, fuck you. And Tony Romo's, fuck yous. I can't stand you cheap bandwagons. You guys are all done Sunday night when it's over and the Bills play the Ravens in the championship game. Done! We end the Taylor Swift coverage. The national media's pick is done. Then what are you guys going to have to talk about? You got to start finding the real teams that are good. Because this team's not good. They want them to advance. And I already see people flipping out on Sean Hockley being the referee for the game. Again, the Chiefs have everything going their way. I told you guys, we're in the National Mahomes League. He gets all the calls. And when he doesn't get his calls, you guys see how he is. All right? The National Mahomes Network, NBC, is not getting this game finally. But CBS is, and I feel bad for Jim Nantz that he's got to put up with Tony Romo being a cheerleader with this little fucking pom-poms in the fucking booth cheering on Mahomes secretly. Yeah, I'd be pissed off. I'm taking the Bills. Taking the Bills. I'd rather root for my division rival than fucking pick the Chiefs. You fuck yous. Yeah, you're done. Okay? And I can't wait for when you guys fucking lose Sunday night. I'm going to go throw a celebration you guys don't want to miss. Oh, you're not going to want to miss this. No, it's done Sunday. It's done. Say goodbye. Okay? Enjoy the little hype of no one's giving us a chance. I love this. Mahomes is going to win his first real playoff game. No. No. It's going to come crashing down. Like I told you it would this whole year. Because your receivers are not good, okay? Von Miller, Leonard Floyd, Daquan Jones is stuck. Keep him in the pocket. Don't let him extend plays. He has never won a road playoff game, and he will not win a road playoff game Sunday. Okay? Give me the Bills to beat the Chiefs. All right, guys, that's today's episode of Loungetime. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, that like button, that notification bell, so that way you guys can get all the latest notifications when we make episodes. We only got a couple more left, because that's it. Season's over, unless you want me to talk March Madness or NBA, which I might actually do a special draft show too, I'm thinking. You can also follow us at Loungetime Pod on X. We just recently got a couple new followers. Thank you those who follow at Loungetime Pod on X. Really appreciate it. It helps grow our community. Hopefully, you guys can have questions for me or have some takes. I might even talk about it on my show. All right? But we're happy to have some new followers join us. So thank you to those following us. And guys, thank you so much for watching Loungetime. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will see you guys next time on the next episode of Loungetime. Have a great divisional round weekend, everybody.